Hear this, you elders, and give ear, all you inhabitants of the land. Hear this, you elders, and give ear, all you inhabitants of the land. This book is very important because it's about the end times, the whole thing. Reason why Peter, when he realized that after Yahushua resurrecting, the end times had started. However, there were 2,000 years for the very end of time, yet the disciples didn't understand it. For Yahushua himself said it, that it was not given to them to know the times. So they would speak regarding the very end of times, so that when we would come to the end, we would have those words. Because if they had known, they would not have written that much regarding the very end. That's why Peter used Joel chapter 2, but the book of Joel, to speak about the end times and what would be fulfilled when he spoke in Acts 2. So here we see that it says, "Hear this, you elders, and give ear, all you inhabitants of the land." It could be read, inhabitants of the earth. Has anything like this happened in your days, or even in the days of your fathers? Tell your children about it. Let your children tell their children, and their children another generation. Which is pretty much what I was saying, how when Yahushua came, he fulfilled a bunch of things that nobody had fulfilled. And he fulfilled the four main things that in the Talmud, and well, in the teachings of the Jewish people, they had written in their tradition that whoever came and fulfilled those four things, among which was to raise the dead, to after 4 days, Yahushua did it with Eliezer or Lazarus, which was something that never had happened, because to Judaism, the prophet needed at least, at the most 3 days. If the person had died 4 days back, then the prophet could not bring him back. So that's why Yahushua waited until the 4th day, to show something greater than anything before. And when he rose from the dead with the eternal body, that was even greater than raising Lazarus. The fact that he gave sight to the blind, the fact that he healed a leopard, or several, but one in particular, or healing leprosy. And another miracle. And regarding the one who was blind, one key factor was that he may be blind, that he was blind from birth. So Messiah would heal a person who was blind from birth, and Yahushua did it in John 9. So that was a sign that Yahushua is Messiah. The fact that he raised the dead, another sign, even more that he did it after 4 days. The fact that he healed a leopard. And I don't know, maybe it was 3. Oh yeah, here's 3. That was the 3rd. So yeah, I guess it's 3, and I was saying 4, perhaps because of the 4 days from resurrection. But yeah, I found it here, and it says those 3 that I already said. So that's a fact to show that Judaism should have believed in Yahushua as Messiah, because their own writings, their own tradition, which they respect even more than scriptures, said it, and Yahushua did it, but they still killed him. So I continue. Verse 2, "Hear this, you elders," as in the apostles and those who were taught by them, "and give ear, all you inhabitants of the earth," all you inhabitants of the earth. And I repeat, it says Eretz in Hebrew, which means earth, but normally is interpreted as the land of Israel. So that's why it says land on many translations, yet the same word in a bigger context means the whole earth. So since Yahushua came to open a door for those who were in the nations to believe in the Almighty and fulfill the Torah through Yahushua HaMashiach, this is fulfilled for the end times, as in, "Give ear, all you inhabitants of the earth." And it's read like that in Hebrew also, I repeat. And Yahushua said to the disciples that they would go to, mainly Paul and then some others that joined him, would go to the nations. So we see it here. Hear these, you elders, and give ear, all you inhabitants of the earth. Has anything like this happened in your days? Or even in the days of your fathers? Tell your children about it. Tell your children, let your children tell their children, and their children another generation. As in the several generations that would pass for the 2,000 years to go by for the end times to happen.